Thing number three, shifting gears. I love this actual thing in terms
Yeah.
of the headline. Is green energy really red energy? You recently had a webinar with Dr. David Glancy of the Institute of World Politics. We're talking uranium here.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate. One of the members of the Deep Knowledge Investing Board of Advisors is Dr. John Lanchowski. He was President Reagan's national security advisor on the then Soviet Union. He was part of the policy, one of the architects that helped the United States win the Cold War without firing a shot. He's a remarkable person. And he was a founder of the Institute for World Politics. And one of his economics professors is Dr. David Glancy. I have spoken with him on camera a number of times in the last couple of years. And Dr. Glancy is phenomenal at the intersection of geopolitics and economics. He's incredibly knowledgeable. And what he was pointing out is that here in the United States, we're trying to make the shift to green energy. And he's pointing out that, hey, the batteries for these electric vehicles, which is really the most valuable part of an EV, those are manufactured in China, and a lot of the lithium is mined there. And the components for the solar panels are made in China largely. Components for windmills are largely made in China. And so what he's pointing out is that we have a situation where our transition to green energy is really just moving a ton of business to China. It's really red energy.
Yeah, it's so interesting. That was the point that the takeaway you gave me, right? Was we're kind of shuffling deck chairs in a way, right? In that, okay, with being and having these green initiatives, we're just actually moving what would be the opposite of green initiatives to a country with less any sort of initiatives or regulations that even exist on the books. So quite the dynamic there.
Yeah, Rob, you're right. And a lot of this is a net negative if you're an environmentalist. And the reason for
Right.
that is, while the US and Western Europe are trying to make this transition, China's building coal plants. And, manufacturing in the United States and in Europe tends to be as environmentally friendly as it can be. Obviously, any kind of production is going to have an environmental impact, but there are a lot of regulations and people take this stuff seriously here. You outsource this production to China and they simply don't care. And so what we're doing is we're pretending that we have green energy, but what we've done is burned a whole bunch of coal and diesel fuel mining and producing these components in China. None of this is a net positive for the environment. We're just pretending. It's like saying, an EV is a zero emission vehicle. That's zero emissions at the
Right.
tailpipe, but you use a whole lot
Right.
of diesel to mine lithium, and these things don't power themselves either.
Yep. Actually, anecdotal data here, but was having a conversation in an Uber in here, California, in Southern California. I was talking about with energy rates and the spikes that we've seen over the last couple weeks with obviously the rains and storms and everything else. Full charge on an EV vehicle is actually right around right now about the same price as fueling up with gasoline. So super interesting. And takeaway, you said if you want clean baseload generation without the emissions, nuclear is your best option. So obviously, followers of DKI know the position in regards to uranium, and be sure to check out some of those recommendations that Gary has on the website.
Yeah, I think my
Moving to
second largest
or sorry,
position, sorry, Rob. I
very
think my
good.
second largest position right now actually is in uranium. It's either my largest or second largest position, depending on the day and what's up and what's
Sure.
down. Um, and that position is more than doubled for us here at Deep
Yep.
Knowledge Investing. I think there's more to go. This is going to be a long-term trend.